Hello, my name is Jan Holmes, and I've been asked to do a reflection on Chapter 7 of Fratelli Tutti. Pope Francis's words in his letter to us, a letter to you and to me, are very inspiring. The name of the Chapter 7 is called Paths of Renewed Encounter. And it's not some hypothetical, idealistic dictate meant for us to merely think about or ponder over, but I see it as a call to action. He speaks of us working tirelessly, boldly, and creatively, side by side, to embrace goals that benefit everyone and serve the common good. This takes personal commitment from each and every one of us to open our minds and our hearts, but most of all, it calls us to do something. Every day, I am committed to live this way as what Pope Francis calls an ordinary person. So I've asked myself, how do I prepare my heart to live according to Fratelli Tutti? I want to educate myself by exposing myself to ideas and people, like Betsy said last week, walk a mile in someone else's shoes or moccasins. I have purposefully sought out opportunities to see the world in different eyes. And I've recently watched a movie recommended by Wendy Clausen in our Lenten group called Best of Enemies, The Best of Enemies. And I was very moved by this movie. It's based on a true story, which I always love, and about a member of the Ku Klux Klan and a female Black activist, and how they were able to resolve their disputes through a process called a charrette, which is very similar to what Pope Francis calls for in Fratelli Tutti, which is negotiation, mediation, and arbitration. Write this movie down, The Best of Enemies. It's a must-see and a must-recommend if you like it as much as I do. I've also begun to explore a website called StoryCorps, after hearing about it on a news program, and have been very inspired by listening to people's stories. It's so easy to retreat to my own little bubble in my own little house. But that's not what Fratelli Tutti is calling us to do. The Pope calls us to support a society based on service to others. So I ask you, what are you going to do? On my commitment list is to participate more fully at Father's Heart Ministry, which is supported by our parish. My husband Simon and I have made a ton of burritos and a ton of coleslaw, but I feel like I've missed out on the opportunity to really be there with the individuals that we serve, to be there and to listen and to become friends and understand them more. I'm committed to signing up to distribute meals and open my heart to what I have to learn. When working in youth ministry, I had the opportunity to go to Night Strike with the teens, and oh my goodness, the growth of the teens, the depth of the faith that grew out of that group was really amazing. And I know myself, I grew deeper in my faith, and I stepped out of my comfort zone like you wouldn't believe. It was way out of my comfort zone. But the growth from doing it was so worth it. And that's what we have to do. We're called to step out of our comfort zone. I also ask myself, what can I do to help create a sense of belonging with everybody that I come in contact with? I feel a sense of belonging to our church. And part of that's through the RCIA core team that I'm on and all of our initiates and this Lenten group. I mean, I've gotten to know and love those individuals I loved before, but I love them even more after this. But how do I create a sense of belonging for our new initiates? That is really on my mind and on my heart now. Maybe you can reach out to them and welcome them into our fold as well. But that's one of my things that's on my list of commitments. There's so many opportunities at our church to volunteer. You can St. Vincent de Paul, peace and justice, knitting. It's the list is endless. Just whatever floats your boat, you just choose one and go all in. But there's also other standard ways of living that are spoken about in the Fratelli Tutti that I'm committed to. I am committed to treating everyone with dignity. I'm committed to showing courtesy to everyone and being gentle. I'm avoiding quarreling, and this includes my family too. This encyclical is not just about out there, it's about us and how we live in our everyday life as well, and those we love the most. I'm committed to nourishing goodness in my heart, and I'm committed to sharing what I have with others, my time, my talent, and my treasures. I'm committed to speaking evil of no one. I'm committed to look beyond myself and my particular interests. I'm committed to encouraging a daily practice of encounter and openness to others. I am committed to show unfailing patience, tolerance, and understanding. What are you committed to? Let us be the heroes of tomorrow and begin anew.